And we're back with another episode of the Pals Podcast. I am your co-host, Danny Galarno.
And I am Ricky Liordi.
And who do we have on today, Rick?
We had Lauren Mantha on. If you don't know who Lauren Mantha is, she is the starter and founder of A Running List, which has become one of the biggest guides to running clubs all over North America and even international. She said she has some in Australia. Lauren's become basically a figurehead in the running community, and it's something that started very organically, and she tells us a little bit about her story and kind of how she got into it, how it started, what she's up to now. But overall, just really inspiring story, how someone can go from not running at all to being a leader in the space, and she was on the front cover of running magazines and much more. So listen to the whole thing, check it out, because her story is honestly remarkable.
Yeah, and even like for me, someone who doesn't run, like I was able to relate with her in a lot of ways, just like why she kind of got into it. And it was great. I had so much fun doing it. I had so much fun learning more about her, and give it a listen.
Yeah, if you are not a runner or if you want to get into running,
it's great.
Yeah, this would be something that I would listen to this. I'm like, I want to go for a run after that.
Yeah, and she's not intimidating when she talks about running. Because you know how like there's some runners who it's like all they do, it's like because like they talk about like how many marathons am I running this year? You know what I mean? Like that can become very intimidating. For her, it's like everyday running.
Yeah.
Which she's become like the overall like everyday runner, if that makes sense.
No, I completely understand what you're saying. Like someone like Jed, past Powell, like that's an intimidating runner because he's so like super, he's tall, he's like super fit, like runs really, really fast. Lauren's so like soft spoken and just
she could probably run just as fast, but it's just like the way she speaks about it.
Yeah.
It's like you would never know.
She's this crazy runner.
But it's like I also find like her goal is like literally focusing on like making people comfortable in the space, but also just like getting yourself into the habit of everyday running. And she's coaching too, so reach out to her if you have any questions. But
it's also like breaking down the barriers to running.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so she at the end she even says like reach out to me if you want to get hold of me. And Lauren, thank you for being a pal, thank you for coming on, we really appreciate you. And anybody listening to the intro, hit the subscribe button, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. Who cares about Twitter? Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all those fun things. And Danny, what do we say?
Let's fucking go.
Have you been on many podcasts before? I know you did. I saw one that you did for sure because I listened to it. The one it was like a running based one.
Yeah, I've been on.
Keep the mic.
I've been on 3
podcasts,
but none of them have ever been recorded. So
okay,
like video,
camera,
yeah, camera on.
Oh, that's exciting. So first on camera one.
Yeah, I know.
I love that.
Yeah, it's good.
So I always forget the camera's on.
I forget. It's once we start rolling. For me, it's like once we get going, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I listen to podcasts by audio, but some people listen to it by video. I feel like video is becoming more and more popular, but also just because of clips, and that's where I forget.
Yeah, like the clips. I've seen clips from this podcast of you guys, but otherwise, that's not really how I listen to.
How do you listen to your podcast? Audio?
Yeah.
Like Spotify?
Yeah.
It makes sense. I feel like most people do.
I used to listen to an Apple podcast. My music was on Spotify. Podcasts were on Apple. But then my storage was just filling up too much, and I couldn't have that many apps. I was like, you know what? Delete that. Just listen to everything on Spotify.
That's fair. What do you listen to when you run?
Ooh, okay. Well, it depends on the run. Like today I did a tempo run, so I was supposed to be a little bit more fast paced. So it was kind of like house hype music. I've tried the whole podcast thing. If it's a really long run, I'll get into a podcast.
I can't do it.
But I need not usually. When I'm running. Yeah.
I need like EDM or rap when I'm running, or if I'm in like an emo mode, then I'll listen to like Adele and whatever. But normally I want EDM and like mainstream rap and EDM.
Yes, well, that's fair. I feel like everyone's so different. I know some people who don't run with any music, and
that to me is wild. Like running without music is wild.
You should try it sometimes. It's kind of freeing. Like you just really focus on your breath and like the sound of your steps and everything around you.
I don't run, so I couldn't tell you. But that just reminds me of like driving in a car without music. Or not on the phone?
No, but it's even worse because if you're running, it's
that's
like
not
thump, thump, and then you notice you're breathing heavy because you're tired. It's like, okay, breathe through your nose. I was like,
So,
man.
as runners, do you guys get distracted by the things around you?
Like in a good way, because it just keeps me really engaged. So I'm not bored. I'm just like always thinking about something.
That's fair. Actually, I agree with that. Yeah. If you're like, there's nothing better than, in a run, than running in a different city for the first time. Like I dislike running in Vaughan because I dislike the surroundings, and there's only so many routes I can take to get a good run. Downtown, I can go up any street I want. Like obviously the lake's the best because on a nice warm day you get a cool breeze. During the winter I don't run on the lake at all because it's too cold. But I'll go through the streets. You go through Trinity. You can go through, if you go really far, you can go to Hyde Park. There's so many good areas to run downtown. And you get different scenery. So you're like, oh, I didn't know this fucking bagel store was here. Or I didn't know this cafe was here. Or that cute little restaurant's there.
Well, I'm just asking this because my sister just started running. And over the holidays, my cousin's like, I'm running a half in March. And she's like, okay, I'll sign up.
Yeah.
Wasn't a runner ever before. So she's going on runs now.
I love that.
Yeah, I love that for her. But she was running on Saturday. And there was like an area where they were running through and she couldn't get over the smell of some of the restaurants, and it distracted her and it like pissed her off during the run.
Oh no!
So that's what I was wondering. Did like stuff like that bug you guys, or is it just like, was it just?
What about you? Like I love when you go by a restaurant that smells good. I'm like, ooh, I gotta remember that for later.
Well, she didn't like the smell.
Oh yeah, it depends. If it's like a pastry restaurant, yeah you're like, oh great, for later I'll circle back.
How'd you get into running?
I did it with like, I raised money for charity through A Million Reasons Run, which was just kind of like pledge how many kilometers you want to run for the month of May. So I did 31 kilometers for 31 days in the month. And I just told myself I would do like a kilometer a day. Okay. And then I just kind of made a good habit out of it. And also I was posting about it on social media, not thinking
you were going to be on magazine covers and shit.
No, not at all. I just wanted the accountability of like, I'm publicizing the fact that like I'm going to reach 31 kilometers and just make other people aware of it. So
how long ago was that?
That was last May.
That's insane that you've become a figure of running in the city of Toronto, and even like bigger than that, in such a short period of time.
Well, wait, we're in 2025 now, so I have to be careful. But like, so
2023. Yeah, but still, like, because by last year you were already like an authority in the space. Like in less than a year and a half, you became like a leader in this industry, which is arguably one of the biggest fitness industries like in North America. Like running is huge now.
Running's really grown.
And you've become like a figurehead, especially in the city of Toronto. Like that's insane how you did it so quickly. I thought you were a runner for like time.
No, I honestly just kind of really dove headfirst into like the running space, especially in like the run club scene. I didn't join my first run club until November, so I was running alone really 99% of the time from May until November, when I joined Le 6 a.m. It's now called Cure Club, but that was Friday morning, 6 a.m.
I heard about that. I heard it's good though. I heard that's a really good one.
Yeah, it's great. No, it's great. And I like met a lot of friends there. I'm still like really close with lots of people that I met on the very first day. I was so nervous to go to that run club. I documented it because I was like, oh, I need to share this, because I feel like a lot of people are nervous to try something new, especially like I didn't know anyone going into that run club. I just knew the guy who posted it on his stories, which I found out. That's how I found out about it. So I was like, I'm going to share this. And then I went and I shared it. And I think a lot of people were like, oh, this is cool. Like, even yourself, like, you'll have to tell the story of, like, when we first met.
Yeah. So, I'll finish yours and then I'll tell the story how we met.
But yeah, no, so I was like, I just want to share this so that people know these exist. Because I was like, I didn't know they exist. And I just wanted it to make it, like, more accessible for people to see, like, you can go. I didn't know anyone going into it, and now I've gotten so much out of it. So just like the discomfort was worth it times a million.
I think your story is so good because it's so relatable to everybody. Like so many people want to try new things, but they don't know how to start. And like you documented a lot of it, and you're just like, hey, yeah, I'm not a runner. Like I always thought you were, but then you're just posted like, yeah, come with me to this run. Like, come check it out. I went alone. I made some friends. Like it's very relatable because it's not easy to go to things alone.
No. I think it's very relatable, even for just different aspects. For me personally, I hate going to workout classes.
Yeah.
Alone, where I've never been to the place.
Yeah.
And I have a really hard time going somewhere first. Yeah, okay, I really want to go try this new spot out. Who can I get to go with me?
Yeah.
Usually it's my sister. now that we've been like once or twice, even after the first time, okay, I'll go alone. But it's that initial bit of getting me there that terrifies me.
You tell me if I'm wrong in this. Is it because this is me? Like, I'll go and I'll be like, okay, I don't know where the change rooms are, and like, I don't know how to use the locker.
How do you register? How do you walk in and register?
Right? Like, where do I put my stuff? Will there be enough space in the locker? Should I wear a big jacket, a little like, the overthinking
things
of like doing something new where you just don't know.
It's not like the class that scares me. It's not like it's the process leading up, and it's a big thing.
100%.
Air locker. For the first time I went with your mom, I had someone else there with me to walk me through the process of walking in. I said hi to you guys.
But you have someone there to hold,
and I have someone
metaphorically hold your hand.
Metaphorically hold my hand through the process of switching into that thing. No problem going there alone after. Jaybird. Just started going to Jaybird over the holidays. Yeah, no problem going there now because I know the routine. But I was with someone also too going that was very shy. And we're both not shy people in general. But when it comes to these situations, like we'll go to the grocery store and we'll be like awkward to ask. This actually happened. If like the tuna was sushi grade that we could eat it. Like we're both just like, no, you say it. So I was like, and I'm always the one to be like,
hey, that's fair.
But again, those are little things to me that like I'm awkward about. And I had to be like, and in that situation between me and her, I'm the more outspoken one. So I'm like, okay. So we're walking into Jaybird. And she's like, okay, you go in first and like, I'll follow you. And she's like, speak up. We don't have mats. Like mat covers. I said, okay. So I let in. And again, my sister's 18 too. My friend's my age, but...
Who was the friend?
Sasha. Sasha knows this. Like, it was like dragging her. Like, I had to like pull her. Thank God she came because now we're good. But we walk into the space. We look around, take our shoes off, walk up the stairs. I walk in. I'm like, hey, everyone's so welcome. Like, do you want a tour? I'm like, you know what? Yes. Usually I'd be way too awkward to say yes. I'm like...
New year, new you.
Yes, give us a tour. Literally afterwards, Sasha's like, oh my God, you did so good. Good job. Just for the smallest thing. But that's what gives me stress and makes me not want to go somewhere alone.
Right.
It's so funny because you guys both aligned on it right away.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you brought it up,
I knew, I could tell.
Yeah. I'm the complete opposite. When I go somewhere alone, I'm so excited to talk to people when I get there. Like I did Jaybird. I thought I was doing the Pilates one. It turned out it was the other one.
They're both Pilates. One's mat Pilates.
Sorry,
one's
yeah,
reformer.
I thought it was reformer Pilates. It turned out to be the mat one. So I walk in there and I'm like, hey, let's do this. Like, I need socks. And they're like, what do you need socks for? I'm like, I know, the grippy ones, like the things with the little rubbery nubs. And they're like, oh, this isn't reformer Pilates. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, oh, it's like a mat yoga, like almost like a HIIT class. I'm like, cool. What do I got to do? Talk to me. Tell me what I'm doing. Show me what to expect. Like when they're like, is anybody new here? I'm like, me. Pay extra attention because I have no idea what I'm doing. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. And I have no problem with that.
Oh, no.
I feel like when I go somewhere, I'm excited to see people too. Definitely excited to talk, like very social person. But that was a skill I had to like develop. Like, I was definitely not always like a confident person to like be outspoken and like ask for a mat if I needed one, or like if they offered water to say yeah, or like I don't know, like things like that. Like now for sure, if you asked me a year ago if I would ever do this, I would say no. But I think like maybe it just comes naturally to you to just like, but for me it just like not. I think it was something I had to like learn and like get better at. So
see, it's so weird because in so many aspects of my life, things like that don't give me anxiety and don't stress me out. And it's a more, I guess from a social standpoint, it doesn't bug me. But when it comes to like normal day-to-day mundane tasks, I used to be scared to ask someone if they gave me a Coke instead of a Diet Coke. And someone's like, you ordered a Diet Coke, just speak up. Or you go to Starbucks and you order your drink and they put too much milk in it. I'd be like, okay, I'll suck it up for today. Once I ordered bagels from Tim Hortons, and my sister will never let me live this down because this is bad. We were like I was in university. She was probably in high school. We were on our way to Tim Hortons before work, and we were getting bagels. I ordered 2 bagels. They gave me 1. I walked out of the store with 1 because I was too scared to tell
buy
them.
2 get 1.
So I looked at her and it was my bagel. I said, we can split it. Like, and she's like, you paid for 2. I said, yeah, but I was too scared. That definitely changed
Okay,
on. I'm
good.
improving on that. If someone gives me a Coke, I can say I want a Diet Coke. Like, I'm very adamant about that. Like, I know how to speak up. But, like, again, it's baby steps.
Fair enough.
But many people wouldn't think that of me because I am so loud and outgoing and I
Yeah.
talk to so many different people.
It's different.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that either.
And we've known each other for how long?
Yeah, a very long time.
There you go.
What's one thing that going to these run clubs has taught you? Like, what's the biggest lesson you've learned?
Ooh. Well, probably just like the comfort zone. Like, get out of your comfort zone. Be okay to like talk to random people. Everyone at Run Club is so approachable, and like it's a social thing. So everyone knows like they're there to chat. They're there to like meet new people. So like spark up a conversation with anyone. It could be super easy. Like find something about anyone, like you like their new pair of like running shoes, or it's like a pair of running shoes that you wanted to get. Like ask them about it. Easy.
100%.
Like that's an easy one for a Run
Everybody
Club.
also, like, you notice that people want to be spoken to at these. Like, anybody that's by themselves or even like a group conversation, if you spark up a conversation, they're excited to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's not like a lot of other places. You go to like a nightclub, it's like people are like, get the fuck away from me. But at run clubs, everybody wants to be social. Everyone's there to get that social interaction.
Well, I think that's what's turning, like, it's a new form of social activity that people are craving for. Networking. Yeah. We don't have these networking events anymore where people are having that day-to-day conversation. That this is kind of like the pull to be able to have those conversations, especially if a lot of them are working at home or this and that. They don't have that.
No, 100%. And that's how we met. We met at Piccolo Run Club.
Yep.
But it was random because I was literally talking out loud about one of her posts. And I was like, yeah, there's this like girl who like makes, like, she goes to all these different run clubs, blah, blah, blah. And someone's like, yeah, that's her. I was like...
I was standing right beside her. I was like tying my shoe. I could hear him talking about
like, yeah,
me.
She makes these like videos where she goes to all these run clubs and she's trying them all out.
Talk shit.
No, I didn't talk shit.
No.
I was like, yeah, I was just like talking out loud about her. Like, I wasn't being like, oh, I love her stuff or like I hate her. It was just like, yeah, there's this girl like I just followed, like started following, because I think I just started following you.
Yeah.
Something like that. I just started following her because I'm like, yeah, this girl, I want to get into more run clubs. And she just goes and she reviews all the run clubs and like she talks about them and she goes alone to a lot of them. And then someone's like, you're talking about Lauren. I'm like, oh, I think that's her name. It's like, yeah, she's right there. I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Ricky.
Yeah, it was really
That's
funny.
so funny.
And that was at Piccolo Run Club.
Oh my
And then
God, I
think
love that.
You've obviously been to majority of them, which has kind of led to a running list, which I'll let you talk about it a little bit more. But like what you're doing with that is, first off, how it's not been done, as organized as you've done it, is beyond me. Like, it's crazy that it's such a big thing and you've never seen it. You just kind of created this thing that's now, I want to say you've become a figurehead in the running community in such a short period of time, and it's insane. In the best positive way. Like it's remarkable because it's like, fitness takes so long for people to get to that next level or to be known in a space. But I feel like every runner kind of knows who you are in Toronto. Maybe like I'm not a huge runner, but like, I feel like a lot of
Ricky
people know
knows
who
you
are.
all know.
No, like, a lot of people know who you are because like
Get yourself a hype man like Rick.
a running list is it's
Every day
fucking
while
sick.
running?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah, how'd the whole thing start? Like, take us through it.
Yeah, I guess like kind of going back to what we were talking about with like being comfortable doing uncomfortable things. I wanted to like show what it was like to go to a run club, because like even the barrier of like, okay, what door do they meet at specifically? Like, I know you're putting an address in your Instagram, but like where exactly? Like, so I know where you meet. And then if I showcase that through like video or whatever, then it's just like, okay, there's one more obstacle that like you don't have to go to this run club. So that was kind of like the main reason why I started doing videos. And then I did a post on Instagram, and it was just like a carousel post, and it had like the days of the week with like some of the run clubs that I knew of. And I knew posting it that I would miss some that I wasn't aware of, and I did, because like the comment section was like, you forgot this club, or there's this club, and there was like so many comments of like ones that weren't on the post just because I didn't know about them, which was also amazing because I was like, oh my gosh, like even more, like there's so many,
right,
like
yeah.
Great, bring it on. But then I was like, okay, if I do a part 2, like I can't do a carousel post. It's just, there's too much information. So then I was in the gym one day and I was thinking about it, because I just like my mind waters. No, I wasn't running. I know. But I was like, okay, like it basically is just like a play on words. Like it's just like a running list of like clubs in the city. So I was like, a running list would be a really cool domain name. And I was like, if it's not taken, I have to make it. So then I Googled a running list and it was like page not found. So I was like, okay.
Heck yeah.
I was like,
GoDaddy.com.
I was like, okay, so now I have to make it. So it's basically a directory of like all of the run clubs pinned on a map and also in like a table form. And we started in Toronto and then like moved to Quebec and then across Canada. And now we have run clubs pinned in the States because people were like, oh, I traveled to Florida in the summer. Like, I know a lot of run clubs there. Like, let me send you my list. So it's kind of been like, honestly, like a community effort because I didn't find all of these clubs. Like, a lot of people have given me information, which I'm so grateful for. And it's just been like a group effort, which is really nice. And now you're able to like add your club by yourself without it being like something manually I have to do, which has been nice. So it's like allowed for more clubs to be added, and we have Australia on there. There's not a ton, but it's there. So
like, even I was in Florida at Christmas. I went to your website to see a run club in Florida.
Did you go to one?
No, so the one that I found two, and the timing didn't work out. One was like a 45-minute drive, and it was only a 5K run. I'm like, I can't drive further than I'm gonna run. Like, if it was an hour run, I would have done it, but a 5K run to drive 45 minutes. But anyways, I'm like, that just goes to show how far. Like, I knew it was in the States. I didn't know it was in Australia, but I'm like, I literally went because I couldn't remember if it was a running list or running list. I was like, I went to your Instagram, clicked the link in bio, and I was like, boom, here.
Perfect.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's just such a good organic story of like, hey, I didn't know what to do. You started doing it. You started posting about it. What's the next evolution? Okay, it was a slideshow, carousel slideshow. Then it's like, okay, I missed some. Okay, how do I make a list? Ooh, a running list. It's like, fuck. Like,
so how many have you done in Toronto?
I think maybe 20.
Holy.
But there's at least 75 in Toronto, so like,
okay,
I would have to work at it.
This is going to be a big question now. Which has been your favorite?
I get asked that a lot, and I honestly can't answer it because you'll know this too.
Yeah.
Every run club is very different. Like,
why? How? Don't you just run?
So
to explain
for
to me,
someone who doesn't run,
yes,
yeah,
explain to me why it's different.
I think they all just have like, if you have a favorite restaurant, you have like a reason because you maybe like the food and the vibe and like the music or something. Like, there's different aspects about it that you like. It's the same with like a running club. Like, you might like the fact that they end at a coffee shop or like the group that is with it.
You get free soup.
Yeah. Or you get a free soup, Piccolo plug. Yeah. But honestly, they're all really different. I don't know. It's hard.
And you said it the best. It's like a restaurant, right? You have 100 Italian restaurants in the GTA, but everybody has their favorite. Some are little mom and pop shops because they like the fact of knowing that there's a nonna in the back who makes the sugo every 6 months, and she's got her home recipe from Taramina or whatever. Some people like the bigger change because it's popular and they got the cool drinks and they got the fancy chef. Run clubs are the exact same. Some of them, like I'll use Queen Street, Lululemon's Queen Street Run Club. So that's arguably one of the biggest run clubs in the city of Toronto. I went to it, and I love some of the people that do it. Like Lauren, I think he's an amazing guy. I think he's an amazing host. That's too big for me. It's like some of the weeks are 250 people. And everybody meets, and there's like a 10, 15-minute like town hall gathering where they do announcements at the beginning, and then you run in stages, and then everybody finishes, and you kind of all high-five each other on the way back in. And for me, I'm like, I want to run. This will work out. I don't want to stick around for an hour and a half. But some people go to it specifically for the social aspect of it. Piccolo Run Club, I loved it because of the soup. Honestly, I loved Phil, I loved Katie, I loved the people that they brought in, and every week it was free coffee and free soup at the end of it, and I fucking loved it. And I know some other ones that end at breweries and stuff and have like everyone gets a $5 for 2 pints or something. These little gimmicks that certain run clubs will do, and some of them, Jeff Gloria does T-shirts. First 50 people get a custom T-shirt, and they bring scissors so you can cut it up together, and they do like smoothies after. So everybody does something different. And like, I know some run clubs that are 10K, which are, it's a little bit trickier to do a 10K for if you're not a runner. But again, some people love that because 5K is a little short for people who run consistently. So again, it all depends on your preference. But I think what you said was good. It's like, you have to just go and you have to experience, because then you'll find out what you love. Yeah. You don't know what run club you're going to love, and you don't know what you're going to love about the run club until you're there.
Okay, so question. For both of you who run, I'm going to go in steps for this. Do you guys like running alone or in groups?
If it's a last minute decision, like it's late at night and I'm like, I need to run tomorrow, like and I don't know, and it's too early, like there's not really a club that's going, or I just need to like get it done, like I'll go by myself. If it's like a last minute decision, sometimes I'll plan things out in advance, like text my friends, hey, do you want to go to this club this week? Like, so it depends. I like running with people. I also like running alone sometimes. Like,
I hate running alone. I despise it. Like working out alone, I love doing. I put in my headphones, I listen to my music, and I get shit done. Running alone with me and my own thoughts, and especially the days where your shin splints and your knees are hurting, your ankles are hurting.
No wonder you can't imagine running without music.
Oh man, everything hurts, and I'm like, why'd I do this? Why? I think about my marathon. I've run half marathons. Most of them I run alone. I ran the marathon this year, Toronto Marathon, which I think you ran too, right?
The half.
You ran the half. So I ran it. If I didn't run it with my buddy, with my cousin's husband, I would have hated it. I had a good experience because I got to run with someone I ran for 4.5 hours with somebody by my side. Well, 4 hours and 27 minutes to be exact, and I ran with him for 4 hours and 20 minutes. We only did the last 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers apart. Without him, I would have not have finished that race because it gets dreadful and you start to almost like hallucinate towards the end, and you don't know, your concept of time and distance is so blurred because you've just been going for so long. So running alone to me is dreadful. Running in a group, I love. 4 people.
So like as someone who runs more than maybe other people, how do you find the run clubs? Like does that affect, like how does it work with like people's pace, and like if you're a better runner than them?
So it's another great you want to answer this?
Well, most run clubs have like a range.
Yeah.
Like they'll have the front will run at a whatever pace and the back will be at whatever. Yeah.
6 or something.
And then you can just kind of put yourself wherever you're more comfortable and maneuver your way up to the front if you want to run faster, or hang back if you want to run slow.
And that's why a lot of the bigger run clubs are nicer, because it's like fully scheduled. So like I'll use Queen Street as an example. It's like, okay, first group, we're talking 4:30 pace, which is like fairly fast. Mm-hmm. Okay, second group, we're talking 5-minute pace. Third, we're talking 5:30. Fourth, we're talking the 6. And you go, and again, everybody's so encouraging. Like if you're not a runner and you're looking to get into running, there's no better way than doing it with a run club. I can confidently say that. It's like working out. If you don't work out and you want to get into working out, the best way to do is either get a personal trainer or join group fitness classes. Mm-hmm. One of the two. Like it's so tough to show up to the gym by yourself if you don't know what you're doing. So running, if you're not a runner, and you got, especially in this environment now, like minus 20.
Oh, it's freezing.
Yeah.
Minus 20.
Not
the days
ideal.
are dark at 5:30. It's terrible. But you know, I can imagine going to that 6 a.m. one. It's like you got everybody that's like, you're always gonna have like 1 or 2 dudes that are just super chipper. First time, hey Danielle, how's it going? Oh, you're new here. Oh, this is great.
Definitely you.
No, it's not me. I'm like the quiet guy at most run clubs in the morning. I have my headphones on. I don't talk to people, and then it's just I wait till I get going, and then once we start running, that's when I start to wake up and talk to people.
Yeah.
How are you actually? Are you like a social? I feel like you're a pretty social person. Every time I see you at run clubs, you're always talking to somebody.
I am. Oh, I love meeting new people at run clubs. It's like my favorite thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What's been one experience that like really stands out to you about a single experience at a run club?
I think whenever anyone, and this is like not to toot my own horn, but like if anyone comes up to me and says that like they found the running club or the run club through the website, or like one person's come up to me with their friend and they've gone like, we found the club like through the website and we met each other and now we're like really close friends, or I just moved here from like, I'm not from Toronto, like I just moved here and I found your website and now I've like created a community so quickly in like a big city. And those are like the best interactions ever, because it's like you make something and you're like, oh, I don't know who sees it or how it helps anyone, but if someone like actually takes the time to like come up and tell me how it's impacted them, it's like the world. So
oh, that's
so
the best. Wholesome too. Yeah. I can imagine like there must be a lot. Like again, in Sudan, you might not know, she was on, it was the Canadian Running magazine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like front cover.
I saw that.
You know, for someone who's again been only doing this for a year and a half, let's call it, like that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I know. They asked me, I was like, did they mean to send this to me?
Maybe she's humble too. That's so sweet. Like I love that. No, it's just that is a huge accomplishment. You should be so proud, because again, what you're doing is helping a lot of people, one, like get out of their comfort zone. Like you're helping people stay healthy, make new friends, and like start healthy new habits. Yeah. And it's just something as simple as you said. It's like, hey, what door do we meet at? Like to me, that's never something that would come through my mind. But that's something that would probably go through yours now hearing your story.
1000%.
Yeah, just like trying to like break down any of those barriers, questions to make like entry into joining a run club like that more like seamless and easy for people, because it is like very accessible. Like people say running's very accessible, you just need a pair of running shoes, and like then you add like the club aspect of like time, place, people can be very intimidating. But then if you have like the information and like the tools, I'll say, to like get you there a little bit easier, it's just like I think
like
helpful.
having like the time and being a part of a club, like it holds you accountable.
Yeah.
When you're signed up for that class tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. and you forget to cancel it, you lose your money, or not. It might be a bit different then, but you're telling yourself you're going here, people are expecting you, like you hold yourself accountable for actually doing it, or else you could sleep in and
no, it's big, like
miss it. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll say to people like, I'll see you next week, and that I went to like the same run club every week for months, because it was always like we just knew we'll see you next week, like, and you just kept going.
And if you're missing, you know you're gonna get that text. Where were you today?
Yeah, where were you? We missed you.
Yeah. Where were you? Like,
we missed you today. And then you're like, fuck, I should have been there. What was I doing?
Yeah, it's not like a work. It's like, hey, why didn't you come to work today? It's like, no, we missed you. Why weren't you there? We were so excited to see you. Yeah. Like Piccolo. So when Piccolo ended, Piccolo Run Club's now over because Phil's moved on to different ventures. We like a bunch of us pitched in to get him and Katie sweaters. And then one of the girls brought bracelets with like people's names on them, like Taylor Swift, like friendship bracelets. And I'm like, so I missed the last one because I forgot I was tied up.
We missed you.
Yeah. And someone's like, hey, by the way, sent me a picture of the bracelet they made for me. They're like, hey, we made it for a bunch of the members. Like, I knew you were one. So like, yours is that Piccolo waiting for you.
Aww.
Like shit like that. It's like, fuck, man, only run clubs do that kind of shit. Like, not even pickleball players do that. Actually, run clubs and pickleball is very similar. Yeah. Like pickleball players are very wholesome and like inviting and welcoming.
I've never tried pickleball.
You've never tried pickleball?
Oh, that's your next thing.
You gotta try it.
Yeah.
Pickleball list of all the pickleball facilities in the.
I keep seeing new ones come up on my Instagram all the time.
Oh, there's so many.
And in the States mostly, and they just, some of them are so cool, the concepts they're doing with it.
Yeah, they are cool. I want to go back running for a second. What is your least favorite thing about running? Because we talk about like all the good things. Like obviously everybody knows it's good for your health. It's good to meet people, exercise, endurance, mental health, everything. What's your least favorite part about running?
That's a hard one because I've never really thought about it. Okay, well, maybe I'll say two. Like the aches and pains that you get from it, not ideal. But then with that, sometimes you have to take some like time off, or you can't run as much because like you don't want to push it, which is also hard because you want to. So there's a bit of like the mental too, like you want to go and do that run, or you want to run an extra however many kilometers, but like you don't, which is kind of tough because like you have to like ego check sometimes. So maybe I'll say that isn't a great part about it. But I mean, overall, like it's just part of like growing and like learning your boundaries for like how far you can push yourself and what's smart and what isn't.
Well, it's pushing yourself until you burn out. I just feel like that goes hand in hand with everything. Like if you're gonna push yourself too hard, and, like actually burn out, then what? You can't run for 6 months,
which you don't want to do.
You don't want to do versus not running for 1 week. Like listening to your body is just so important with everything.
And what's one thing you would tell the younger Lauren who before she got into running?
Get into running. Like about running?
Yeah. Like before you went to your first run club, or before you started the 31 kilometers. It's actually crazy that you just did 31 kilometers in a month. You probably do that in like a week now.
If I'm training for something, yeah. Probably that it's normal to like be uncomfortable when you're running. And I think I was really self-conscious about like the fact that like I looked slow, or I didn't look like I was like a runner, or I ran a lot on the treadmill because like I didn't really like running outside because like I don't know, I wasn't really like, confident in running yet. So just like go for it. Yeah. I think you just like, it comes with time, but I think it's like normal to be uncomfortable when you're running, but you have to start somewhere. Like you actually have to suck at it first and then push through.
Yeah. And it's funny because nobody actually like, and I've said this many times about different topics, but nobody actually cares. Like in your
No.
mind, you're thinking, oh, people think I'm slow, or people think I don't run right, or people do this, people that. When I run, I know I run like I'm like 60 years old. Like I see myself at Barry's and I'm like, is that what I look like from behind? Because you know all the mirrors are like back to back.
You look pretty normal running.
You don't know
I've
what
seen you at
runners
your
look
half.
like.
She's crossing her fingers.
I am so. I look like I run like I'm 65 years old. My hips don't move properly. My feet don't lift the way they should be lifting. For someone who runs as much as I do, at the pace I run, I'm not a slow runner either. Like I'm not, I'm probably not as fast as you or as like Jed, for example. But I can consistently do 2 hours like half marathons, like consistently. So I'm a good paced runner. I run so bad. And every time I see myself at Bears, I think the same thing. Man, I look so bad when I run. How is this what I look like? Not a single other person around me gives a fuck.
No
Not
one
a single other.
cares.
Everyone's just saying, hey, I'm putting in work. That guy's putting in work. She's putting in work. Everyone's putting in their own work. Nobody cares.
Well,
what
it's
you
like
look.
when someone's running a marathon. Doesn't matter if you run it in 4 hours or 7 hours.
You're
just
doing it.
completed a marathon, and like everyone around you who's seeing it is just proud and happy for
Yeah.
you.
But I think it's also part of the community, though, right? Like it's not in a lot of other physical activity communities. Actually, no, I feel like High Rocks is equally as nice.
Everything's actually pretty nice. Like
Yeah,
you're
I
not.
feel like the fitness
I'm not
community
hitting to like, going to F45 and having people judge and look at you.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
think that. You think that's what you're going to go into and have all these things, but no, everyone's actually very welcoming and like helpful.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I feel like the fitness.
Well, I think most things are actually in life like that. Everyone just has like this negative connotation to it. Because I get that sometimes. You're scared to do something because you're worried about what people are going to think. But majority of people, like no one actually really cares what you do.
Nobody cares. Everybody's so worried about themselves, or most of the time nobody cares about
I'm gonna
what you're
like
doing.
random. It's completely not even health and fitness related. Walking into a bar, not planning on it, wearing a cardigan instead of like a nice going out shirt. That used to like eat at me. I don't care anymore. No one actually around me cares.
100%.
No one at all cares.
100%.
So like what? Like yeah. Like obviously you want to feel good sometimes and whatever, but at the end of the day, no one cares. Wow.
I want to ask you, switching a little bit off running. What do you do? What's your day job?
Right now, full-time coaching.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just started Boxing Day. So
Wow,
I had
okay,
Oh my God,
congrats.
really?
yeah,
That's
very
amazing.
new. So like I had a busy Christmas season, getting that all set up. But yeah, I've started coaching some clients. Basically like similar to kind of what we were talking about. Like I just wanted to make getting from like not knowing to like feeling confident easier. So like whether that's running, strength training, like being in a gym, like things can be overwhelming, and I just wanted to kind of like bridge that gap and like help people get there. Like if you want to go to a run club you've never ran before, like I can help you get there. Like I just love working with people to like help them reach their goals, their fitness goals, because my background is in nursing. I worked as a full-time registered nurse for a couple years, and then I went back to school. Well, I quit, worked retail for a little bit. I was trying to figure out like what I was doing with my life, which I feel like is common for people in their 20s. You kind of have like a moment of like, I don't know what I'm doing. And like that can last like a long time. Like I feel like I'm still figuring things out as I go, which is fine. And I've just kind of like accepted that. And I actually love that. It's just like been a whole process. So I realized like nursing wasn't for me, worked retail, took like some free online courses, which if like you're feeling like you're in like a career rut, like take some extra time. If you have an interest in something, see if there's a free course about it, or like go shadow someone in it, or ask a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend if you can talk to them about it, or like go to their work and like see what it's like. And so I just kind of took the time working retail and like it being part-time to kind of see what I liked. And reading nursing job descriptions, like nothing really sat with me. And I always liked the health promotion side of healthcare, like preventative, kind of working upstream, like how can we prevent people from like getting to the hospital in the first place. Like that's always where I've wanted to like put myself, but it was kind of hard to like see where that would be in nursing. So I just kind of like took a step back, went back to school. I really liked social media and marketing and doing all of that. So I was like, let me do public relations, because I knew it would probably lead to a career that I could work in like a wellness industry or something that aligned with me. And while I was in school, I was doing all of this like run club stuff at the same time, and like working at a clinic on weekends. And then it just kind of all started like fitting together, and I've just like slowly found my way to coaching, which has been amazing, and I feel super aligned with where I am and what I'm doing. And it just kind of takes some like trial and error, probably.
Yeah,
the biggest
course.
thing. But I think like also just like being okay to like feel like you're failing. Like when I quit, I felt like I was failing, and like
It's so funny you
But it's
answer
okay.
that. I was just gonna ask, like, when you quit nursing to go work retail, which technically I don't want to say it's a step down, but like in society's eyes, it's like you're moving down.
yeah, that's what it feels like in the moment, for sure, because you just spent 4 years of school or more. Like I
And
did.
the money.
Exactly. It's like going to school to do this, and then all of a sudden, like, whoa, this isn't what I want to do. Like, what do I want to do? Like, it feels like a waste, but it's not a waste, because you have all that like skill and knowledge that you can apply to so many other things. I think we get like, and maybe this is just me, but like I think it's really easy to get tunnel visioned and like thinking there's like one path that you have to take because you went to school for X, and like so you have to like climb the ladder, or like the only way is up, or you have to go back to school and get your master's. And like that's what I thought I had to do, like maybe go back and get my master's. And but I think like it was good for me to give myself like that grace to just like step back, look around, like look at your peripheral, like look outside of maybe what you would normally want to do, like think like, what do I want my lifestyle to be like what do I want to wake up and do every day, like where do I want to be for a 12-hour 8-hour shift, like is it even a shift, like that kind of thing was really helpful. And then just like I was embarrassed for sure, like I went to school and then I was working retail, like nothing wrong with working retail, but I was like, this is not where I pictured where I would be at 20 however years old. But it was honestly the best thing I did, and it just like brought me to where I am today. So no regrets. And I think you're allowed to like move backwards, air quotes for everyone listening, to like move
I am
forwards.
the biggest advocate for this. Like,
Yeah.
even my story is a bit different, but like
Your story is very similar.
but it's also very similar. Like I have a kinesiology degree from Western.
Nice.
But in my 4th year, I was taking a lot of like the sports marketing classes and sports management. So then I was applying to like athletic therapy programs, got into that. And then I was applying to George Brown's sport and event marketing program. Got into both. What do? Decided to go to George Brown. I'm like, you know what? I like this more naturally. But growing up, I was so tunnel vision, being like, I am going to work with athletes.
Yeah.
And I want to do X, Y, Z. That's what I want to do. That switched. Anyways, technically I was in still the sports realm, so I did that. Worked in events for 2.5 years. COVID happened, got laid off. What do? And again, I was like in live events. Kind of looked around. I was like, I don't want to go into the digital space, and I ended up going back to school, and now I'm an accountant. Completely different.
So different.
I basically have a full other degree, and now I'm working towards my CPA. Do I love what I did before? Yes. But I also took a moment. I love what I'm doing now too. And it maybe just aligns a bit more.
Yep.
Am I going to see changes? I even make jokes. I'm like, hey, what am I going to do next? How many more degrees am I going to get? Because it feels like I've been in school literally forever. But I never know. And I also don't know. Like once I finish my CPA, like that's my main goal right now, is that what am I going to do with it?
Yeah. That's
so
amazing.
It's like you just don't know. But it took kind of like that pause to reconfigure my whole career, go back to school, and sit there and like, I was in an online class, but still sit there with other kids, kind of going through it all over again.
Yeah.
You said it best. It's like sometimes you need to take one step backwards to take 2 steps forwards.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you find that your path you're not going smoothly through it like you feel like you should be, stop, redirect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put your life on pause for somebody. If you think about the 1 or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years that you go backwards, is a blimp in the big picture of your life.
But you also learn so much about yourself, and even if the careers aren't hand in hand, what I was doing before is helping me so much in my career now.
Yeah.
And they're completely different. It's just you have to be able to appreciate what you learned then and apply it.
For sure. And also like like air quoting the whole backwards thing, because like it feels like it's backwards, but it's not. Like it's 100% not. But like you might feel like it is, but it's not. And I love the like just the line like fail forwards, because it's you're just like you're moving. It might not feel like you're moving forwards, but you are. And it's I think it's if you don't feel like aligned with what you're doing, like give yourself a chance to just kind of like sit with that, recognize it, and then like, okay, like what do I want to do? And like that's fine. It's so fine to like not feel like you're doing what you want to do, because you have like your entire life to figure it out.
I don't remember the exact quote, and I'm going to butcher this, but it's something to do with sometimes even not paddling, you're still going in the right way with the tide. I don't remember the exact quote, but the idea is that even if you're not moving forward, life will push you forward sometimes. Life has a way of guiding us in the direction that we want to go. Just have faith and be patient.
Yeah.
You don't have to figure it out today. I'm a little bit different than you two, but like, again, I went to school for marketing at Western, then I went to George Brown, same program as Danielle. I did that for a couple of years. I ran an events business for 7-8 years. And then I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to do marketing and events, sports, events, marketing. Then I went into construction. And I've been doing that for the last decade. Here I am now, 5-10 years later, doing TikTok and social media.
Yeah.
Here I am now, owning a sports team. I own a professional sports team. So I'm back into sports, back into marketing, still doing construction, doing this media thing that we do with this podcast. So like, yeah, there's a time where I wasn't doing any of this. I was just doing construction. But life had a way of pushing me towards the things that I generally was supposed to end up doing.
Yep.
And it's like people always fear. It's like, oh, we got to do it now. Hey, be patient. We got lots of time. A year in the big picture it's a drop in the bucket. Like most of us are going to live till we're 90, give or take. So even if you go, backwards, air quotes, backwards for a year or 2 years, it's not a big deal. Because then if you're so much happier in the lessons you learned in the first stage of your adult life or your late teens, early 20s can help you.
Yeah.
Like I say, if I go back now and I did school now, or if I played hockey or some of the sports I did now with my mental fortitude and like my passion for and my drive and my perseverance, holy fuck, I would have been a completely different kid.
Yeah, but you also say that, but you also learned all those things that you have now because of it.
Exactly.
Like if I didn't dance every single day when I was a kid and do that, I wouldn't be where I am now.
I was 100%. An dancer too.
Yeah?
Yes.
It took over your whole life.
Yeah.
Again, so like hockey, I was a hockey player, same thing. My parents used to pay for me to go to private lessons and I didn't want to go. Now here I am paying myself, thinking, fuck, I really don't want to pay. Can I just get this for free? Like, come on. And meanwhile, it's like, when I was a kid, I had it for free and I didn't want to go.
Yeah. I honestly remember the dance, like being there at the studio, okay, like, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. on a Sunday, all your friends are going to a party. Good. Can't go. You're stuck at the studio. You have to go to bed by a certain time.
Now here we are skipping the parties to go to the fucking at 9 a.m., right? Like,
Life's changed,
right? But again, we learn these lessons because of our past, and it's not because of our failures by any means. Like, it's only a failure if you don't learn a lesson. If you learn something, it's not a failure at all. It's a lesson. It's a completely different thing. Like each lesson you learn is bringing you to where you're supposed to be, or bringing you to what you're going to become, or teaching you what you need to know so that you can accomplish those next big feats or those goals or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I thought you were going to say something.
No, my brain was spinning in my head and I'm like saying it out loud. I'm like, it actually like doesn't, yeah.
Okay. So that's what you're doing now, coaching.
Yes.
Stuff. What do you love most about that? Because I feel like your answer is the same. Is going to be kind of the same with like why you started the running list, why you like started doing social media for running, like get people out of their comfort zone and help them like find out who they are and what they are, like what they can become, right?
Yeah. No, honestly, pretty much. Like favorite part is just like being able to interact one-on-one with all of my clients because it's one-on-one coaching. So yeah, I just feel like we're always in contact. I get to hear what they like, what they don't like, how we can improve. Like I'm learning just as much as they are too, and like their wins are my wins, and I just feel like the biggest cheerleader, and I feel honored to be like a cheerleader. So it's like a great job because I get to help people reach their goals, which like they can totally do, but sometimes you just like need an extra person to like show you that you can.
Need a little bit of guidance.
Yeah.
Do you do all your stuff online or or in person?
It's online.
It's all online?
Yeah.
My next one was, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh man, is this an interview?
He's really getting in there.
I'm so curious. Like, look,
give us your strengths and weaknesses.
No, but it's just
how do you handle a hard situation?
It's just there's a lot of times that we sit down, and you and I don't know each other too well. Again, we know each other from the few run clubs we've been to, and we know each other a little bit through social media. But I'm always so intrigued because you have such a good, genuine soul to you, right? Like, if you were like, in 5 years, I could see myself just like running some sort of like running charity or something. I'd be like, okay, I could fucking see that. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe are you going to continue doing what you're doing day to day? Do you have bigger dreams to do? I don't know, big run clubs. I have no idea. That's why I'm genuinely so curious. Because I could see you running like a massive run club one day. I truly could.
Okay. Well, to that, I feel like there are already so many run clubs for me to like create one. Has just like, because people ask me like, are you going to make a run club? I'm like, oh, there's already so many. Like, I'm just going to go to the ones that already exist. Like, and do kind of like pop up things here and there. But I feel like the past year has kind of taught me that so much can change in 1 year. And also like the events that can happen in a year are things that you literally never thought would happen. So to put myself 5 years from now could be like a whole other world that I don't even know
you can never
is
run
possible.
Again, but in 5 years you could like be like, I fucking hate running, I'm never running again, and be on to your next venture.
I couldn't see
that.
No,
but like you still don't know. Like
yeah, that's fair.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm gonna ask it back.
To be honest, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, it's a hard question.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm very like goal oriented, and I used to know my 5 year and 10 year goals. And like, I keep joking that I want to be retired by 40. Obviously, I can't be retired by 40, but my goal is to just have everything in place in every aspect of my life where I am just managing teams of people, and I'm not like, my day-to-day I'm not dealing with day-to-day stuff anymore. Day-to-day, I'm dealing with like bigger projects or monthly tasks or yearly goals. I don't know what that looks like yet for me, but I know that I don't see myself in an office every day doing day-to-day tasks. Like right now at my day job, I do a lot of day-to-day tasks. And this content, this is a week-to-week task. I consider the podcast a week-to-week task because every week we have a new guest, and while we have daily tasks, I like focusing on the weekly tasks. Okay, who are we getting on next? How are we getting sponsors and those like kind of weekly things? With TikTok, it's more of like, I look at it almost quarterly. I'm like, okay, what are we doing this quarter? How are we going to reach 75 million views between TikTok and Instagram this quarter? What's the plan? What's the goal? Like, how are we doing that? Fall short every fucking time, but like, I like to look at it like that, and I don't know what that looks like yet. But yeah, I'll figure that out. Danny, what are your 5 years?
I don't know. I just feel like I hit my big goal right now by buying my place.
Woo!
And now my next one is my CPA. So once that happens, which is going to be in like next year, then I feel like I can reevaluate everything. Yeah. Because that was what I've been striving for.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get it a lot sooner. I ended up getting kind of screwed over a bit by one of the schools I was at. So it delayed me. And then I also delayed for personal reasons too, with just like friends' weddings and stuff. So what I thought would have been done a year and a half, 2 years ago is now looking a year out from now. So that's my next. And then from there, we'll see.
But that's exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, every step forward's exciting. Even the steps that aren't forward are still exciting. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you forget about all the small wins in between too.
100%. Like, I'm celebrating my little wins, and I'm trying to do my best. Actually, I'm gonna ask both you guys this: how do you celebrate your wins? So you started coaching Boxing Day. How'd you celebrate that?
Honestly, I'm like so low key. Like, I didn't do anything other than like a little like, yay, I'm excited, like to myself and like my parents, because I was home for Christmas, and that was it.
I think it's sharing with my family.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. Like, right before the holidays, I got a promotion and a raise. The first thing I did was share it with my family. And even then, like, it's not like I'm running around to my friends being like, yeah, let's fucking go. But then there's some people I do that with. Yeah. Like, it just depends. But that was like that was a win before the holidays.
100%. I'm the same. I keep thinking like, I want to really prioritize the little wins this year. I always do a very good job of prioritizing the big ones and celebrating the big ones. How do I prioritize and celebrate the little ones? And similar to both of you, mine is by telling my friends.
Yeah.
By telling my
people
closer
closest
friends.
to you. Yeah. I think that's like how you're proud of yourself. And it's like, you know, your friends will be proud of you as well. So
Yeah.
it's like you want to share the good times with them.
Yeah. And that's my thing lately. I've decided every little one, I'm just going to share close friends, little, either whether it's talking videos or little like copy paste messages. I want to celebrate the little ones with the people like in my closer circle. Because yeah, it's like we should, I feel like, especially, and I don't want to shit on Toronto on this episode, but I feel like a lot of times people are almost like scared to celebrate wins because, you know, you're scared to tell someone that you're doing so good because you don't know what they're struggling with or you don't know what they're going through. And I feel like that happens a lot. Maybe not so much in my circle of friends, but I hear about the stories all the time from others.
Yeah, but I also feel like sometimes people are scared to share their wins to not seem, there's the other
like
side,
they're bragging.
like they're bragging
Yeah.
or this and that, where it's just like people around you are actually genuinely happy for you, and you should be happy for yourself too, and not make it seem like it's a bad thing for doing something well in your life.
Yeah. And you 100% agree on that. I think that's why
More people
all my
are doing,
little ones, I
like
want to,
obviously more people are, like people are doing well as well.
yeah. I want to make a priority this year. Anytime I have a little win is to tell the people closest to my life what the win is. And if people don't want to hear it, then again, they'll find a way to get themselves out of my life. But that's one way I'm really prioritizing my small wins this year.
Well, you obviously made this a bigger thing, but I think prime example is when you were hitting the 300,000 and then 350. Even just us talking about it in the car with my sisters and like planning what you were going to do with it and like shooting off ideas, like it's a way of being like, holy shit,
celebrate
it's celebrate. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Then obviously you shared that with everyone else, which is still great. But
before we wrap up, because we're nearing the time, what's next for you? What's 2025 look like? Because you're the first episode of 2025, actually.
yeah, that's
live.
exciting. I haven't been in the studio in so long. I'm
first
loving
live
this.
recording of
Right.
2025
Yeah.
and the last episode in our current space.
I'm both honored and feel like I'm under a lot of pressure. I kind of went into this year with a blank slate because that's kind of how I went into that last year, and it worked out really well for me. So I'm just keeping a really open mind to like any possibility that comes my way. But I think like a big thing that I'm gonna do this year, or try at least, is to do triathlon. I've never done that.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
wow.
have. It's great.
Um,
Oh, sorry. I thought you were asking me. Yeah, but
but
should
no,
do it.
I know you have.
Sorry, I thought you said that.
I know
I
you
thought you
have.
said, have you ever done one?
Yeah, but
No,
I
you
just
that'll,
said, I've never done one.
because I like putting myself into situations that I'm not good at, and just like I
you
now
swim?
know that I can swim.
Like-
Can I swim well? No, probably not.
Isn't that the hardest part?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
But other than that, like
Olympic distance triathlon?
continue coaching, and I don't know. I either sprint or Olympic. I'm not sure.
What's the difference?
You have the mentality. Well, sprint is a lot shorter. Sprint is, I think, it's just under half. It's just over half of the Olympic distance.
Oh.
Yeah. So sprint's like, I think it's like you can do it in an hour-ish. Like the fast time is like an hour.
I know I could, like, I feel confident, me saying this now sitting on the couch, I feel confident I could do the sprint, but
Yeah.
I know the Olympic would probably be more of a challenge for me, which is why maybe I should do that one, but I don't
But
know.
you have the right mental attitude, and that's what again, to do anything like this, it's mental fortitude.
There you go. That's my 2025 thing, other than just like other than that, open slate.
I
I'm
love
very
that.
excited for this year.
Yeah, but just take the opportunities as they come.
Yeah.
You know, at the
There's
beginning
a
of last year, I
good-
didn't think the goal was to be on the front cover of a magazine, and look, it came up.
That was never on any bingo card ever.
Yeah. I find like there's something about this year specifically. There's a lot of weird shit happening in the world. A lot of like, let's just say politically in Canada, things are at a halt right now. Politically in the States, things are making big changes. But there's just weird shit happening. But I just have that exact same good feeling about this year.
Yeah.
This like
It's a good year.
you don't know what's gonna happen, and I feel like big fucking things are gonna happen.
I fucking feel like 2025 is going to be everybody's year, and I there's no middle ground in 2025. Nobody's going to have an okay year.
No, it's either gonna be great or shit.
I've talked to a lot of people that are just like, oh, I see that, fuck this year already. And I'm like, really? I'm like, I fucking think 2025 is going to be great.
There's just
No, I'm so
yeah.
ready.
And like, we're only 3 weeks in. By the time this releases, we'll be like a month into the year. But like, I've jam-packed my Q1 with so much shit where I'm like, I don't have time for new opportunities. But I'm thinking, like, if I get everything done that I wanted to get done by the end of Q1, I don't even need any new opportunities, because holy fuck, I just had the craziest quarter of my life. And I'm just thinking, like, I don't know how I'm fitting all these hours in a day between everything. Like, even I was looking for scheduling podcasts. I'm just like, between...
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, a lot of like we're running out of fucking days to do this, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, holy fuck. And we're just starting the year.
You know what I was just thinking? This is such a random off-topic thought, but I was starting to plan things in February, and I was feeling my February is getting really busy. And there was a part of me that's like, oh, do I book this? Like, what if something else? Like, I just feel like these crazy things are going to fucking happen. But I'm like, no, this is what's going to lead me to those crazy things by just, like, kind of booking and seeing what happens.
I know what you mean, though.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a weird, like, I was like, oh, but... And it's not like I don't want to do what I'm doing. Not Florida.
I know what you mean, though.
But yeah, you know what I mean?
You don't want to book it just in case something better comes up.
But no, not something better, just something crazier.
Fair enough.
I'm having this, like... I'm having a week.
Yeah, fair enough. Lauren, we appreciate you coming on. Thanks for chatting with us. If people want to find out more about you, the running list, or a running list, sorry, where can they go? How can they find you?
Instagram's probably the best place. It's just my name, Lauren Mantha. And then from there, links to whatever you need. A runninglist.com is where you can find all the run clubs. And A Running List has its own social media page, but mostly everything is on the website. So also, like, if you have any questions about anything that we talked about today or just want to chat about, like, anything I talked about, send me a DM. I'm always open to it. So I know, like, we talked about a lot of, like, some different things about, like, career and being uncomfortable. And if you have any questions about, like, running clubs or getting into something that you're uncomfortable doing, like, message me. It's what I live for. It gives me so much joy. So just, like, a free open door for chatting as well.
That was a very well done ending. Good for you. That was great.
Literally when I clipped that.
Yeah, I love that nice. Too. That was a very nice one. But Lauren, again, thank you for coming on, guys. Give Lauren a follow, give Danielle a follow, give myself a follow. And if you made it to the end, we appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button, like, share it with your friends, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Cheers, pals.